This is Pop Culture on Blast.
I'm Justin.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Tim.
Well, guys, let's talk about the new Twilight Zone remake, reimagining show that they're doing. Is it Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele.
Yes, Jordan Peele.
This is what, the second or third redo of Twilight Zone?
I think this is the third if you don't count the movies. Are we counting the movie?
I think you have to count the movie.
Okay, then technically it'd be the fourth because the original, and then the movie, and then they did it in like the 90s.
80s.
80s?
They did it in the 80s and then in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so
Okay.
fifth.
Gosh.
So the fifth attempt.
Okay.
And do we put the Outer Limits in that too? Because that was kind of
No.
offbeat.
That's
No,
a
but what
Twilight
about
Zone-y.
Night Gallery? I haven't actually watched an episode of that. Is that kind of Twilight Zone?
No idea. Never even heard of it.
Okay, well, I
till
guess
now.
we shouldn't touch that one.
I think people have said that it's close to
It's
the
very
Twilight
much
Zone.
like Twilight Zone.
But
Well-
it's its own thing.
So here we are. A new version of Twilight Zone. Tim, do you want to see a new version of Twilight Zone? Or would you rather have seen him just do some sort of other anthology show that's not, quote-unquote, the Twilight
Like
Zone?
a Black Mirror.
Yeah, well, I was going to go there.
Well,
But go
okay.
ahead.
no, but
Yeah.
Black Mirror is pretty much like Twilight Zone.
That's what I would call it when I
That's what-
explained it to people.
You know, I at first I kind of
That's the
said
same
that it
way.
is, but it is and it isn't. It's because every episode has a technology-specific kind of twist, right? In Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, yes.
Yeah. But I also feel like, at least early Twilight Zone episodes, not so much later, but early ones, there was always the twist, at the end. There was always something they're here, that guy's a pig man or whatever,
Oh, they were on Earth the whole time.
Yeah, it was the show got away from that. It became just sometimes oddball ideas or whatever. But Black Mirror is similar in that sense. I know it gets compared to Twilight Zone a lot, but I don't think it's they do have episodes that have a twist, but they have plenty that don't, and they're just an odd concept that has a payoff. So I don't think lumping it in with Twilight Zone is fair. I think it's its own beast. I think it's amazing.
Well, I wouldn't say I've ever lumped it in. I think that's just my way of explaining what type of show it is.
Like an anthology.
I didn't
different
like
cast
what
of
was
episodes.
close enough to it. It was the
Yeah,
Twilight Zone.
all right, fair enough.
I knew it was its own thing.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Tim. Is this something you want to see, or would you have rather seen it just in a, not call it Twilight Zone?
From him, yes.
Now, I have not seen Get Out. You did, right?
Yes.
And
it
you
was
said
amazing.
it was really, really good?
Yes.
Well, he's got this other movie coming out called Us,
Yeah.
which apparently is supposed to be amazing.
Now, not having seen Get Out, and don't spoil it for me because I do want to see it, is this something that you would have, if you were a Hollywood producer, that you would have thought, hey, this is the guy that should do Twilight Zone now? Is it?
Off of that, yes.
Oh,
Because
okay.
like you were mentioning, they had a good twist, and this did have a good twist on it.
Okay.
And it would twist on the twist at certain parts. And they'll be like, you expect to go this way, and then, there's a twist, and we twist back to going back that way, and then we twist here.
You did a 360 on me.
It did this many, many times, yes. it literally, it was a movie that I wasn't expecting to be as good as it was.
That's what everyone says.
It went directions you didn't see coming, and he's proven that, off the show, Key and Peele, they had some really good sketches off that show too. That I think he can actually do a good job with the Twilight Zone with the people that he has coming in to be in the first couple of episodes for it.
Okay.
I kind of have to plead ignorance. I don't know anything about this guy. When Get Out came out, and his name was being thrown about, and I'm thinking, who's Jordan Peele? I mean, I guess he's a talented writer and visionary,
Comedian.
something. And I was like, okay, who is he? What is he? Keenan and Peele?
Key and Peele.
Key and Peele, never heard of that. And then this movie came out, Get Out, and people seemed to really like it. I was like, okay. And then he gets offered the Twilight Zone. I'm like, okay, who is this guy? What? The Twilight Zone? That's something else. You can make your own movie, fine, but the Twilight Zone is something else. I think that's something that's untouchable. I don't know. You better be really good if you're going to try to do a revamp of that show and make it better than Rod Serling. I don't know, man.
I don't think he can make it better than Rod Serling. I think he's going to have to make it its own thing.
I think you're
because
right
you
about
can't
that.
really measure it against Rod's. Because
They're going to, though. It's got the name Twilight Zone on it. How can you not?
I agree. They're going to compare it, but I agree with you also that don't even try to do what Rod Serling did. Make it your own thing.
That's just like trying to compare Batmans and Jokers. They're all different in different time frames with different versions of who they are.
People do that, though.
Yes, they do, and it's wrong. I don't. I separate them.
I didn't say whether or not it was. I wasn't trying to weigh the moral implications, Doctor. What I mean is that people are going to compare these things. They have the same name on it. Right?
I wonder if he'll strive for that early Twilight Zone shtick of a twist kind of at the end of every episode, or if he'll just play it like a dramatic episode with a weird concept.
Well, it went live on March 11th, which was yesterday right now.
When it went live?
The first episode on CBS All Access.
Well, this is timely.
It's out already. Oh,
I know that.
Literally came out, what is yesterday for us?
Oh, well, I'll watch it tonight. I have CBS All Access.
You do?
I watch Discovery.
Oh, okay.
How do you think you watch Discovery?
I thought you just ripped it off the internet.
No, I don't have time and patience for that. I just don't watch it. Too much effort. Well, I'm going to watch it tonight. Very curious. Who's in this first episode? Do you know?
I don't know who's in the first episode, but they have a lot of big names who's going to be within the season.
Do we know if they're shooting for 30-minute or 60-minute formats? I kind of would like to see them do 30-minute ones. Just knock them out, man. You know?
Well, yeah, that worked best for the Twilight Zone. They tried doing those 60-minute ones.
Yeah, the 60-minute ones were okay.
The fourth season was all 60 minutes.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I missed the 30-minute ones. There was something about compacting a good story into 25 minutes that just gives it energy and gives it purpose.
It was just the right length. Not too long. It was the right length. Not too short.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, what did you find?
It's still loading. I looked up to continue the story.
It's still loading. I cannot answer you. Well, you know, when that's loading, let me bring up a concern I have, and that's about Jordan Peele.
Okay.
Because of what he's made so far. I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's just a concern. Get Out and also Us are both very, they're very much concerned with race. And he did it, you know, it was part of Get Out, and he's doing it again with Us.
Right.
And that's fine. You can have a movie about that, and that's a perfectly fine thing to talk about. I was thinking about this the other day. I like to watch movies about nerds because I'm a nerd. Like Free Enterprise, it's about me. Basically, it's about people like me. Like,
right.
So if you want to write a story that involves discrimination or unfair play, what have you, about race, that's fine. But I don't want him to be doing that all the time, like Spike Lee does. And I'm hoping that's not going to be the case.
I get what you're saying, but I really don't think they would do that just because, A, this is an anthology show, so the cast is going to change every episode. Mm-hmm. And I don't think CBS would get by. Like, if it was a dominantly either racial-centric episode show, or if it was, you know, dominantly black actors. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
I get what you're saying.
Yes.
But let's say every episode was heavily black actors and all that. Again, nothing wrong with that. I do think it would draw attention because that's an obvious, like, someone's clearly making an effort to do that. You know what I mean? And I don't think anyone's interested in doing that. And I don't think, even if he wanted to, and I'm not saying he does, I don't think the studio would allow that.
I don't know if this guy has the clout yet to be doing something this large.
That I don't know. I do know I didn't watch the show, but I know that he had his show before, and I know Get Out did well. Us is apparently supposed to be...
Not to get political, but it was like when Barack Obama was elected president, and I was like, who is this guy? What has he done? I had no idea. I had no idea where he came from.
Right.
At least with other presidents, like, Bush #1 was the CIA director or something. I'm like, okay, well, I think he can handle his business. Okay. But then somebody comes in and you're like, who is he? What has he even done? Like, has he proven himself? Same with Jordan Peele. Like, I don't know if he has yet. Like, he's done a few good things, and that's not easy. But is that enough to give him, like, the keys to the Twilight Zone?
I guess we're going to find out.
Apparently somebody thought it was a good idea.
What'd you find, Tim? Who's in it?
First, I'm wrong. It starts April 1st.
Oh, all
Okay,
right.
I was thinking,
I
like,
was going to say, why is no one talking
I haven't
about
read
this?
anything of any reviews. Nothing's come up.
It all depends because it's 10 episodes this season.
Okay.
And, you have... He, of course, is in everyone. He's a narrator.
He's the host.
He's the host. So far, people like John Chow. Let me see. This list is actually better.
Don't be shy. Call them all out.
Okay. Seth Rogen, Greg Kinnear. I can't pronounce that name. John Chow, Jennifer Goodwin, Luke Kirby, Santa Lathan, Adam Scott, Rhea Seahorn, Allison Tolman, Jacob Tremblay, Jessica Williams, DeWand Wise, and Stephen Yin.
That's a very diverse cast right there.
Who I love from The Walking Dead, but that's beside the point.
So I would say, at least cast-wise, I don't think your fears are, finding a home. Based on the cast, anyway. I can't tell you what the plots are. But
Well, you know how I mean.
I know what you mean.
When a creative person, when they come out and they kind of do the same message every single time.
I know, and I know what Get Out was about. I haven't seen it, but I know what it was about. I have no idea what Us is about. I know the cast is dominantly black, but I don't know how that plays into the story. If it's an element of the story, or if
I'm
it's
speaking lightly because I don't know what Us is about either.
no, I don't either. Like I said, for all I know, it could just be a family, and if they're black, fine. But Get Out was about the race. I do understand that.
Us is about a family who go on vacation, and then one day this family shows up at their front door. Well, this other family shows up wearing masks. They come to the door, they open it because they locked it. It turns out somehow it's them. But
Like their doppelganger?
Like a dark mirror version, like the mirrorverse version of them.
I see.
And horror ensues.
I feel like I've seen that movie. Like, it's not that actual movie, but wasn't another movie kind of like that? But it involved time travel.
I don't think.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
I don't want to say too much because I'm going to get the details wrong. We'll talk about it afterwards because I know I've seen something very much like that.
But
go ahead.
Their show, Key and Peele, it did touch on race a lot. One of the funniest things was when Jordan Peele would actually play Barack Obama, and he would sit there and go through the handshakes. Handshake, a black person, white person, this woman, baby, stuff like that. It was very funny. And it was smooth and it transitioned well. And then there's the racist zombies episode where they wouldn't bite black people because that's racist.
But do you know who does that also for comedy? Dave Chappelle.
Yes, he did do that.
He does it all the time. Like every time he does a bit, he involves race in some way, and it gets tiring.
He did more than that than just
he
race.
did, but he would fall back on that a
Yes,
lot.
but what I'm trying to say is Key and Peele, they did more than that just race. They did my girlfriend is mad at me and she won't get in the car, so I follow her to literally the desert where we see someone else who passed out and died too because she wouldn't get in. And then there's the coach who does the names wrong, pronounces it Timothy LaQuandre. Do you mean Denise? You mean Denise? No, Denise. It touches on race. That's why I truthfully think, because I watched the show, loved it so much, was so upset when it went off the air because it was one of the funniest things Comedy Central had on, period. And that they did it well, and that's why truthfully, and then that's why I wanted to see this. That's why I want to see Us, and I want to see everything else that he's done, because I think he can do this, and with this cast, I think he can do this well. He's a very good storyteller so far. A lot of the movies he's done has touched on race. The first one was mainly race because that was the strong plot point for the whole movie. And that it wasn't something that felt like we're going to make a movie about race. They literally it was because of race, not about race. I kind of feel like there's a difference there.
Well, can you elaborate on that?
Okay, Can I spoil it? Justin, do you
No,
know the plot?
I generally, yes, but I do want to see it. Don't spoil it for me.
Well, I'm sorry. How many years have you had to watch this damn movie?
Fine, do it.
I'm not going to purposely spoil it. Literally, the whole plot is that this doctor created a way to do a brain transplant. And so they do it for the rich white people, go into the young black people. Because they're stronger and faster, and that's the whole point, is because one of the guys was beaten by Jesse Owens for the Olympics, and he didn't get to go to the Olympics because Jesse Owens beat him. And so he was able to get to a black guy, the grandfather was. And it's actually... Did you not see this either?
No, this is not what I expected to come out of your mouth.
This is literally what happens.
I knew it had to do with brain transplants.
Okay, see, I didn't spoil it. But see, that's what it is.
It's like that, like father, like son movie.
No,
it's not a race movie. It's not a movie because they're black. They took them because they're black because they were stronger and faster. You know, they could have taken anyone, but he always felt, because the grandfather put in him, that he was faster because he's black. Because black people are that, because they're designed that way, and so that's why they went after them. Because it didn't feel like it was a movie because they're black. They were just taken for the fact that they were.
But it was an issue. It was central to the story.
Yes, but not in...
but it wasn't about race.
Are you saying it was,
yes,
are you saying it was
about,
incidental?
It's not about racism.
It is about race, but it's
but
not
it involves
about racism.
I didn't say
That's
racism.
easier.
I said race.
No,
There was
I
a
know.
difference.
The fact that they're black is the element of the
right.
movie, yes. And sounds like actually a really cool story. I kind of want to see that. Obviously, it's about a black family. Again, that's not a problem. I still get what you're saying, but I don't think that's going to go down that road. Like that he's going to
I hope not. It was just
Spike Lee it.
It was just a concern.
No, I know.
'Cause I don't know
don't
enough
know.
about him.
They've done some good ones. Like, do you guys ever watch Tales from the Hood?
No.
No.
It's pretty
I thought
much...
you were going to say Tales from the Crypt. I was like,
Well,
oh, I've
yes.
seen that.
But this is pretty much what I feel is it's an anthology version with more black actors and more black stories.
Is it a movie? Or
It's a movie.
It was a movie.
It's a movie, full anthology.
Why did you see this movie? Let's put it that way.
Because
Tim does not have racism towards movies. He'll
I
watch
don't.
everything.
Did I say anything about that?
No.
I'm asking you.
Why did he watch this movie?
It's look at Tales from the Hood. It sounds ridiculous.
because
Boys from the Hood?
it sounded like Tales from the Crypt, and then I read what it was about, and I enjoyed I love anthology stories. I love...
Well, it sounds like a Leprechaun type movie. Like,
There's nothing wrong
Tales
with
from
the
the
first
Hood.
Leprechaun.
okay.
It is a product of its time and design. That's the truth. When he went to Hood and then space, then we had issues.
Leprechaun in space.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Warwick Davis is awesome. You leave him be.
He is awesome.
Well, the Leprechaun did go in the Hood. That's right.
And then he went to space.
That's right.
And then there was a point when he went to Vegas. I think that was the second one, right?
Well, that's when all realism just went down
Yeah.
the toilet.
I've not seen one of them.
The first one, Jennifer Aniston.
That's
how she got her debut.
I did know that.
They actually spun that because I think around the same time she got Friends.
Right.
Jordan Peele to Leprechaun.
That's how we
Okay.
roll.
What's
No.
next? Kevin Bacon? Get it? 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Oh,
People
yeah,
don't know
I
that
think-
anymore.
Yeah,
That's not a thing anymore.
It's still a thing.
I
in my
think
mind.
it's still a thing.
It's really
Old
not.
people know it.
Yes, old people know it. That's why we know it.
All right. Well,
I mean, what? I mean, I think one thing we didn't touch upon is the fact that this show was basically brought back 2 other times. We did bring it up at the beginning,
Yeah, true.
Yes.
but it was in the 80s for, I don't know, like 3 seasons maybe.
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
And then in the early 2000s with Forrest Whitaker as the host for maybe
I don't know
like
what
2
that
seasons.
was. That wasn't Twilight.
I don't know what that was either. It was on the UPN. You guys remember the UPN?
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
remember it.
It was on that. That's when they were trying to make a name for themselves with
I almost
Sergeant
felt like
Voyager.
it was like Unsolved Mysteries or something. Like something about it aesthetically never felt like Twilight Zone at all.
I can't say I remember. I think they tried redoing like the Maple Street episode. You know, the where the aliens are watching the people on Maple Street, and they're all concerned about aliens or something, and then they get paranoid and they start killing each other, and then the aliens actually watching, like, well, humans actually do suck. I don't think we can visit. You don't remember this one?
No. Are you talking about the one where is that the one? No, that's a different one. Where the guy, I think it's an astronaut, where he ends up, he's in a zoo.
No,
that's
it's not
something
the
else.
same
Yeah,
one.
yeah, never mind.
The Human Zoo one was on the Orville, which was on a previous episode.
That's
we
right.
did.
That's right.
Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But yeah, I think they tried to redo some of the classic episodes from the Twilight Zone. but it was an instance of them trying to capture the magic 2 other times, and it didn't work.
And the movie.
And the movie was the same thing. They redid some of the classic. Not all of them.
No, they did the Shatner one was remade.
Right. The third one, the one with the kid.
Yeah.
Where he sends people into the cornfield.
Right. And
the first one, though.
The first one was similar.
With Vic Morrow, wasn't like a Twilight Zone episode.
I want to say I did see a Twilight Zone episode. It wasn't exactly like that, but I want to say there was a guy that had an issue and he was jumping around, but he wasn't racist or anything like that. I forget what the difference was, but I remember thinking, oh, that's where they got it. It was this episode, but they changed it. I see what you're saying. That's why I almost think I get it. You call it Twilight Zone and immediately it's going to pique interest. But if I was Jordan Peele, I would almost want to say, let's find a different name for it, because I'm going to make this mine and it's going to be this wonderful thing and it will forever be compared. And, you can't say the words Twilight Zone and not think of Rod Serling or 2 less than stellar attempts to rebuild the brand.
Or the theme song is iconic.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to use it.
You can't do that again.
Because it actually doesn't feel right in a modern thing, does it?
Well, you know what also doesn't feel right? Color. Twilight Zone needs to be in black and white.
Yeah, that's kind of a very good point.
Both times it was revived, it was in color.
It felt
completely did not feel right.
Yeah.
No, it needs to be in black and white.
Well, it's not going to be. That's why I'm saying maybe they should have just called it something else.
I think they should have.
But then if they called it something else, they'll still compare it to the Twilight Zone.
Fair enough. Just like they compare Black Mirror to Twilight Zone. But Black Mirror is, like, people are getting a sense of what that is, and it's got its own following or Identity, thank you. I'm sure this show, if it continues, will gain its own identity, and I kind of feel like maybe they should have done a different name and not tried to trade on that brand. I think Jordan Peele is doing so well for himself right now that they don't need to trade on the brand name of Twilight Zone. Come up with something else and it would probably sell just as well. Probably. Especially with that cast. That's a great cast, man. Start throwing some trailers out for that. People are going to get hooked. If anything, you could promote it as, if you liked Twilight Zone, you'll love this. If you like Black Mirror, you'll love that. People will get it. Oh, it's that kind of show. It's an anthology. It's this and that. And then call it whatever you want. I don't think calling it Twilight Zone is a good idea.
But this is different to promote, though, because this isn't going on their station. This is their
all access
exclusive, and they have to do this differently to where that's why first thing they bring out, oh, we're making Star Trek again, and they're trying to use the name power to get you to make this whole CBS all access stuff worth it. Because this is costing them a lot of money to do.
Yeah, CBS is really pushing that all access thing.
Yeah, they're going for it, man.
Do they smell death in the air for
network television? Yeah. I think they do. The blood's in the water,
it's been shifting because I personally don't have cable or internet.
I don't have cable anymore.
I have internet. I get everything off my apps.
Yeah. And I mean, with something like Hulu, you don't need it. Almost everything dumps onto Hulu.
Yeah, that's how I watch The Orville.
Sure.
Same.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe...
Cable's almost irrelevant, except for, like, live things, like sports, which I don't watch.
But Hulu has it set up to where you can get the live things now.
There you go.
That just costs more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about it before. I think it's where it's going, and CBS seems to be the first of the major networks to be going gung-ho and saying, nope, this is where our content's going to be. I don't think they're going to put any new major programming on their, network television anymore. I think it's all going to all access, like you said. And I get it. It's a name. Star Trek is a name. Les Moonves, who started CBS All Access, famously was not a fan of Star Trek. He didn't get it. He thought it was stupid, but he acknowledged that a lot of people like it and it makes money. So he put money behind it and got Discovery going. And I like it. So I get it.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone. It's a name. It'll draw some people in there. I guess it is what it is. I just, maybe when I watch it, I'll think to myself, "Fuck yeah, this is Twilight Zone," or I may just go, "Oh, it's a really good show. I love it." I just don't connect the name.
Well, the fact that they are trading on the name did get my attention. I mean,
Sure.
if they had said
we're here talking about it,
that's
of it.
exactly. I mean, if Jordan Peele had come out with just doing an anthology series with a title like Night Gallery or something, like
The Outer Zone.
yeah, something like that, where I probably wouldn't.
Twilight
Honestly,
Limits.
I probably wouldn't care. I wouldn't. What'd you say?
The Twilight
The
Limits.
Twilight Limits. The Outers. You already said the
The
Outer
Outer
Zone. Okay. I think if he did come out with an anthology series on CBS, I don't think I would really care to watch it unless people actually said it's really good, worth checking out. I wouldn't have any interest in it.
Well, fair
Exactly.
point. I guess that's why they picked the name.
But the fact, that it has Twilight Zone attached to it.
What do you think about him hosting it? Because I don't know enough about him as a performer. Because Rod Serling, those are big shoes to fill, man. What's his name did it? You just said
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker. I like Forrest Whitaker, and I did see his intros, and I never felt like
Not
it was
Rod
right.
Serling, no.
He's no Rod Serling.
His vibe, honestly, was like you guys were saying, Unsolved Mysteries. He felt like
Yeah, it felt like
Robert
that.
Stack.
And did Dennis Farina do it for the other version? Who hosted the other?
The 80s?
The 80s
Ooh,
one.
I don't
It wasn't
remember.
Dennis Farina, was it?
I-
that was no, that was Unsolved.
That was
Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries. You're getting it mixed up. Yeah.
But he may be great. I don't know. We'll see. But like, man, find someone that has that sort of what's the word? Class. Gravitas. Yeah, not class. Gravitas. Someone that oozes
Presence.
mystery and presence. He, like I said, Jordan Peele may do it perfectly good, but I know what he looks like, and he doesn't strike me as like a good Rod Serling, replacement. Maybe he should have cast someone as the narrator, because that is such an iconic role.
Well, you have to give him a chance to actually do it. Just because you know what he looks like doesn't mean that's how he's gonna act.
Like, not now, because he's not in the same physical shape, but like Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne, from like his Matrix days. He could host that show because he's got the voice when he talks. He's got command and all of that. Like, I could see that.
Right.
I don't know why he was the first one to. Maybe because we just watched a Matrix clip. But he has presence and gravitas. Hell, man, the guy that did I know it's just picked two black guys. There's no reason why I'm doing that. But he did. I think it was the Allstate commercials.
Dennis Haysbert.
That guy's got an amazing voice, and I've seen him talk to the camera. There was a show he did where he did that, and I was mesmerized. He's amazing in that role. But they could have.
That's why he works for Allstate.
Just someone with that sort of presence to pull me into the show. But like I said, I could be totally wrong. Peele could be amazing in that role. I don't know.
Do you think they should have even bothered with a host?
Yes, because if you're gonna call it Twilight Zone,
have to do
you
a
got to
host.
follow the format. You got to have an intro, come into the or a teaser, come into the host, explaining it, and then get into the show. That's the formula. You got to do it.
Do you think? Would you be upset if they don't use the music?
They're gonna tweak.
I think
it.
both revamps did.
They did.
Just tweak it. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're gonna alter it. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be just like in Discovery. The theme is in there, but like tricked into the end.
Jazz it up.
Yeah, they'll jazz it.
Make it sexy.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Don't worry. I'll juice you up.
I'll juice it up. Correctional facility.
Don't worry, I tried her out. Not a drip.
Yeah, like our 20-year-old pop culture references are going to go over very well.
Funny thing is,
Yes.
I didn't know that was medieval times and that was real until I moved here.
Oh, that's a real place.
That was a real place because I'm not from the LA area. I'm
They
from
didn't
up north
have
Sacramento
utensils
area.
in medieval times. Hence, there are no utensils.
But they
at
had
medieval
Pepsi?
times.
Yeah. Dude, I got a lot of tables.
All right, guys. I think we've hit a wall.
How have we hit a wall? That's funny.
Silence of the lambs. Yeah, I think we did.
This would make George Lucas cream in his
pants.
pants.
Yeah, you think a girl like that would hang out with guys like us if we weren't paying?
I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay,
All right.
now we've gotten off.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have to say about it. I'm eager to see it, and I have my concerns, but I have certainly high hopes to see a
We got a couple
successful-
weeks as of this recording till it comes
reunion.
out, so
Not
I'll
reimagining.
I'll check it out.
Sure, I
Same.
will too.
Well, if you'd like to subscribe to us on iTunes, please do hit that subscribe button. Give us a rating, leave us a comment, help us help the show grow. You can tweet at us at Pop Culture on Blast. You can email us directly at pconblast@gmail.com or visit our website at popcultureonblast.libsyn.com. Till next time, I'm Josh. So long.
I'm Justin.
I'm Tim.